Hey, little champs. Welcome to Peaceful Whisper. In the heart of a quiet forest where the trees stood tall and the underbrush grew thick, lived a small hedgehog named Lila. Lila was a shy creature, content to wander the woods alone, collecting pretty leaves and smooth pebbles for her little burrow. She often marveled at the world around her, but rarely felt brave enough to share her discoveries with others. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the sky turned a deep shade of indigo, Lila stepped out of her burrow. The night was her favorite time, peaceful and still. She loved how the stars dotted the heavens like tiny pinpricks of light. Though in her part of the forest, the starlight barely reached through the thick canopy of trees. "I wish it wasn't so dark here," Lila whispered to herself as she padded along a mossy trail. It would be nice if the stars shone a little brighter. As she wandered, her paw brushed against something hard and cool buried beneath the roots of an old oak tree. Curious, Lila began to dig. The soil was soft, and soon she uncovered a strange object. A needle glowing faintly with a golden light. "What's this?" Lila murmured, holding the needle carefully in her paws. It was unlike anything she had ever seen. The glow pulsed gently, as if it were alive. Before she could think much more about it, the needle began to move on its own. It slipped from her grasp and floated into the air, leaving behind a delicate thread of silver light. Startled, Lila watched as the needle began stitching tiny stars into the sky above her. Each stitch created a sparkling new star, brighter than any she had seen before. Her mouth fell open in wonder. "It's magical," she gasped. The needle finished its work and floated back into her paws, as if waiting for her next move. Lila's heart raced with excitement. If she could stitch stars into the sky, maybe she could brighten her shadowy part of the forest. The next evening, Lila ventured out again with the glowing needle tucked carefully under her arm. She found an open patch of sky where the trees thinned, and with a deep breath, she raised the needle. It began to stitch, guided by her movements. Tiny threads of silver wove across the heavens, forming twinkling stars that shimmered like diamonds. The more Lila stitched, the more confident she became, her shyness momentarily forgotten as she created a masterpiece in the sky. When she finished, she stepped back to admire her work. The stars lit up the forest with a soft, magical glow. Fireflies danced in delight, and the stream nearby sparkled as if it had borrowed light from the stars themselves. For the first time, Lila felt proud. She had done something wonderful. Word of Lila's stars spread quickly through the forest. The animals, who had grown used to the dark, were enchanted by the new starlight. One by one, they came to see Lila's work. "Your stars are beautiful," said a timid rabbit. "Can you make more?" A family of deer nodded in agreement. "The light makes it easier for us to find food at night. Please, Lila, can you brighten more of the forest?" Lila hesitated. She wasn't used to so much attention, but the animals' hopeful faces melted her heart. "I'll try," she said softly. Night after night, Lila ventured out to stitch more stars into the sky. She worked tirelessly, her confidence growing with each stitch. The forest began to transform. Shadows shrank, and the animals grew more cheerful under the gentle glow of the stars. But as Lila stitched, she noticed something strange. The golden glow of the needle was dimming ever so slightly. Worried, Lila decided to visit Ollie, the wise old owl who lived in the tallest tree in the forest. Ollie was known for his vast knowledge of all things magical. When Lila arrived, clutching the needle tightly, Ollie peered at her with curious amber eyes. "What brings you here, little one?" Lila held up the needle. "I found this magical needle, and it lets me stitch stars into the sky, but it's starting to lose its glow. What should I do?" Ollie tilted his head, considering her words. "Ah, the needle of starlight," he said at last. "It is a rare and powerful tool, but its magic is not infinite. The more you use it, the more its light fades." Lila's heart sank. "Does that mean I should stop stitching stars?" Ollie shook his head. "Not necessarily. The needle's magic will last if you use it wisely and stitch with care. The stars you create must come from a place of kindness, not from a desire to impress or outshine. Remember, little hedgehog? True magic comes from the heart. Lila took Ollie's advice to heart. She continued stitching stars, but she worked more thoughtfully, ensuring each stitch was made with care. The needle's glow stabilized, and the forest remained bright and beautiful. But one night, dark clouds began to gather. A fierce storm rolled in, bringing howling winds and heavy rain. The stars Lila had stitched were hidden behind the thick clouds, and the forest grew dark once more. The animals were frightened. "What will we do without the stars?" cried the rabbit. Lila felt a pang of guilt. Had she relied too much on the needle's magic? She clutched it tightly, determined to make things right. "I'll stitch a star so bright that it can guide us through the storm," she said. Braving the wind and rain, Lila climbed to the top of a rocky hill where the storm clouds swirled fiercest. She raised the needle high, her paws trembling but her heart steady. The needle began to stitch, weaving silver threads through the stormy sky. Lila worked tirelessly, her movements precise and full of purpose. As she stitched, she thought about her friends in the forest and how much the stars had meant to them. Finally, the needle created a single enormous star that shone brighter than the moon. Its light pierced through the storm clouds, casting a golden glow over the forest. The animals looked up in awe, their fears melting away. Lila sank to the ground, exhausted but happy. The needle returned to her paws, its glow faint but steady. When the storm cleared, the sky sparkled with Lila's stars, more beautiful than ever. The forest seemed to hum with life, and the animals gathered to thank Lila for her courage and kindness. "You've given us more than light," said the rabbit. "You've given us hope." Lila blushed, her shyness returning. "I just wanted to help," she said softly. From that night on, Lila became known as the forest's Starlight Weaver. Though she still enjoyed her quiet walks and simple burrow, she no longer felt too small or unimportant. She had found her place in the world, and it was among the stars. Thanks for watching, champs. Just don't forget to like and subscribe.